Hi, welcome to The Way of Mastery. My name's Dave Schock. The Way of Mastery consists of 5 core texts, a group of channeled sharings by Jeshua called the Early Years, and then a series of living practices that were developed by the channel after the channeled material was brought through. The Way of Mastery 5 core texts are the Jeshua letters, the Way of the Servant, the Way of the Heart, the Way of Transformation, and the Way of Knowing. This is an introduction to the Jeshua letters. Jeshua letters tells this story of the channel of the Way of Mastery, who in those days was known as Mark Hammer, now is JM, and his first encounter with Jesus. Jesus appeared to him out of a field of light, fully formed in front of him. The analogy I use, because these teachings have had such a huge impact on me, and I think are truly the restoration of Jeshua's teachings, of Jesus's teachings. And that's something that I don't come to easily. It's not, I don't feel like this isn't the kind of person I thought I was going to grow up to be, if you know what I mean. I mean, I grew up in a secular community, a secular world, but in my pursuit of truth, I can't pretend that these aren't the most profound truths and the most profound teachings I've ever seen. So I'm going in my pursuit of truth, and I do believe these are the teachings of Jesus, Jeshua as he's known in the Way of Mastery, given for our time, the restoration of his true teachings. And that's not just because they claim to be, it's because they give a profound geometry of the soul, allowing for true awakening to occur, allowing for true meaning to be found at the deepest levels. And the Way of Mastery pathway, for me, is much more profound than any claim it might make. Everybody needs to pursue their full heart and their full head if they want to truly pursue truth. And as a brilliant teacher of mine once said, if you follow your full heart and your full head and you make a mistake, well, at least you will have learned something. As Jeshua says in the Way of Mastery, the only unsafe thing is not to pursue the truth. So in the name of the pursuit of truth, I share this introduction to the Jeshua letters. The Jeshua letters reminds me, because of the impact it's had, and I believe will continue to have, it reminds me the appearance of Jeshua to JM, reminds me of the appearance of Jesus to Saul, who became Paul on the road to Damascus. A profound, life-altering event occurs, which changes everything that comes forward from that time. Paul went on to write more than half of the New Testament. JM has gone on to channel the entire Way of Mastery pathway, to develop the living practices, to dive back into the original teachings, the Lord's Prayer and the Beatitudes, translated with Jeshua's help from the original Aramaic, and in doing so they reveal astonishing things. The 5 core texts, the early years, the living practices. This is the story of how all of this began. The Jeshua letters recounts Jeshua appearing to JM, and the communion that begins as a result of that startling and unexpected appearance. Much of the book, the other books, The Way of the Servant, Way of the Heart, Way of Transformation, Way of Knowing, are all just Jeshua's straight material coming through. This book is a mix of JM telling the story about how all of this occurred, how he dealt with it personally. You can imagine how that would be if that happened, how one would try to deal with this event occurring, a life-altering event. And then it also includes a lot of the first channelings that came through Jeshua in the Way of Mastery pathway. So I've just been guided to share one in particular. So I'll read this from the Jeshua letters. And this is Jeshua channeling. Allow me here to share but one thought, one teaching, one lesson. The thought is this: in all things there will be discovered that which is of the world and that which is of the kingdom. These are known in but one way. That which is of the world will demand that you perceive it from ego. There will be felt then an attraction, a need, a desire. Behind this can be discerned a sense of restlessness. When recognized, abandon it. This is the process by which the world is released. By doing so, one automatically discovers that which the kingdom is, peace. Here, there is the direct knowing that one lacks nothing. Therefore, the world is sustained by choosing the quality of experience given above. The kingdom is revealed when this habit is abandoned. The essence of the thought is this, and you know it well. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Practice this lesson and great shifts will occur. Now I give you peace, not as the world gives, give I unto you, for I am your final teacher. And the student shall be as the teacher, teaching the kingdom of the Holy Father, helping to deliver yet another from the bondage of self-induced blindness. Thus is the sun awakened. Thus is the world transformed. Release not the vision, for the kingdom shall be known upon the earth. It will come to pass, while yet you live in this life. And this is the kingdom, that the Father and the Son are one. In this shall the earth rejoice and bear fruit, as yet unseen by the eyes of man, save in the distant reflections of an ancient memory when man walked in God and knew it. Remember what is spoken here. Blessings upon you. Amen. This is just one of many teachings given by Jeshua, and you can feel the flavor of it. He's introducing an entire body of work, an entire pathway is being ground in these very early teachings. And as one goes back, I've been studying Way of Mastery for almost 25 years, 24 years. One sees what could be called a holistic, kind of a hologram of all the teachings that would evolve and come in the next 15, 20 years, all within the Jeshua letters. So the Jeshua letters is a terrific place to start if you're interested in finding out about the Way of Mastery. The other terrific entry point is the Way of the Heart, which is one of the core texts and the first of the 3 books of the formal teachings, which are called the Christ Mind trilogy altogether. The Jeshua letters, this is a very brief introduction. There's so much we could spend 50 hours going through the channelings and the revelations that they occur. These are beautiful teachings, and I invite you to look at them for yourself, and hope you've enjoyed this introduction to the Jeshua letters, one of the 5 core texts of the Way of Mastery.